like Amber Cox has leaked some information to Fever insiders, letting them know the plans for the roster for the 2026.
Alright, check this out, Basley fam. The Indiana Fever's front office just dropped major clues about what's coming this offseason. And of course, Caitlin Clark is right in the middle of all of it. GM Amber Cox made it clear, this could be the most important offseason in franchise history. The direction they're hinting at, bold, risky, maybe even a little controversial. So here's the big question, should the Fever keep building around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, or push all their chips in and chase veteran stars for an immediate title run? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one's about to get very interesting. Let's break it down, because the Fever front office just said what everyone's been thinking, out loud.
Basically, Amber Cox called up Adam Sandler in the movie Hustle and said, hey, we need some scouts overseas.
Amber Cox recently sat down with Chloe Peterson from the Indie Star, and she dropped enough hints to keep fans buzzing all winter long. The message? Crystal clear, Indiana is done rebuilding and honestly, it makes perfect sense. When you've got Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston on the same roster, you don't wait for someday. You go all in right now.
So Amber Cox ended up getting a question asked to her. With all the things going on with the CBA, you're sitting in the dark. How do they prepare? How do you prepare specifically for all-season events they don't have information on, right? Because they are in the dark. They don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know if 2026...
They're officially shifting gears into championship mode, but this won't be simple. The Fever are juggling CBA uncertainty, a chaotic free agency period, and the biggest question of all, Kelsey Mitchell's future. Amber Cox didn't play coy. She flat out said, re-signing Kelsey Mitchell is our #1 priority. No rumors, no guessing, that's straight from the GM herself.
How Kelsey Mitchell is their #1 priority, same as this year. Right? In my opinion, man, I think the main thing that they need to focus on after getting your core back, I think you need to focus on a stretch 4 or stretch 5. If you could get 2 of them, that would be grand. But a defensive stretch 4, stretch 5, that would be perfect.
And that statement tells us 2 big things. 1, the Fever know how vital Mitchell's scoring was when Clark was sidelined. 2, they know losing her would completely change this team's identity. When Caitlin was injured, Mitchell went nuclear. Her scoring exploded. She led the offense, carried the team, and proved she can run the show when needed. But here's the dilemma, her stock just skyrocketed. As an unrestricted free agent, everyone wants her. Chicago, Atlanta. Even the new Portland franchise is reportedly watching closely. So do the Fever hand her a supermax deal to keep her in Indy, or do they hold that money for veteran depth and balance? Amber Cox hinted that every option is on the table. Her exact words, we control the controllables. Translation, nobody knows how the upcoming CBA will reshape the league, salary caps, international play, the core years rule. If that rule disappears, the whole free agency landscape flips overnight. That's why Indiana is preparing for everything, scouting harder, studying overseas talent, and creating custom development plans for every player. Here's where things get wild. As of now, the Fever officially have 3 players under contract, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Nalissa Smith. That's it. Lexi Hull is a restricted free agent, Sophie Cunningham and Kelsey Mitchell, both unrestricted. This roster could look completely different next season, but Amber Cox isn't panicking. She said, plan as much as you can. As things roll out, we'll be ready. Classic GM talk, but if you read between the lines, she's keeping her cards close. Because this isn't just about re-signing players. This is about re-engineering the entire system around Caitlin Clark.
I think we control the controllables, right? You start prepping for, obviously, the college season, but what's going on internationally, planning out our scouting, both domestically and internationally.
When Clark returned healthy and surrounded by real shooters, everything changed. The offense flowed smoother. The spacing opened up. The energy clicked. So what's the plan? Cox didn't name drop anyone, but she made it clear. The Fever are targeting players who fit the system. Translation, chemistry over clout. They're not chasing big names or stat chasers. They want battle-tested vets who defend, rebound, and hit open shots when defenses collapse. On Clark and Boston, then, Kelsey Mitchell added fuel to the fire. Right after that interview, she posted a cryptic message on Instagram, grief had me excited for a small piece of it, indifferent for the majority of it. charged it all to the game. The motto remains, shut up and go hunting. 0 gone. That last line, 0 gone, had fans in full detective mode. Mitchell wears number 0. So, is she hinting at leaving, or just tuning out the noise? Nobody knows, but one thing's clear, her next move isn't automatic. Mitchell shined brightest when Clark was out. She had more touches, more freedom, more control. Now, with Clark healthy again, that spotlight shifts back. And no competitor wants to go from alpha to secondary option. That if she stays, it'll be because she truly believes this team can win a title. If she leaves, it'll be about leadership, about finding a team she can run. That's what makes this off-season so fascinating. Amber Cox knows it. Everything now revolves around Caitlin Clark, from playbook design to player scouting, even off-season workouts. It's all about maximizing Clark's strengths. She revealed the Fever are working with medical and performance staff to build a personalized recovery and strength plan for Clark. Translation: they're thinking long-term. No rushing back. No burnout. Cox also dropped another key hint. Indiana wants to add experienced defensive guards, players who can take the toughest assignments and let Clark focus on what she does best, running the offense, controlling tempo, and lighting teams up from deep. That explains why Fever scouts have been spotted overseas, evaluating two-way guards in Europe and Asia who can shoot and defend, for the first time in years. It feels like Indiana has a real plan. Cox even admitted the Fever leaned too heavily on Clark in Boston last season. Her exact words: when you've got two young stars like that, it's tempting to run everything through them. But to win big, you've got to balance it out. And she's right. You can't ask Clark to play 38 minutes, score 25, and guard elite guards every night. That's a burnout formula. So expect Indiana to target role players who stretch the floor, crash the boards, and defend, the kind of balance that turns potential into titles. Head coach Stephanie White has stayed professional and measured in her comments. But make no mistake, the pressure is on. If the Fever don't start winning next season, that seat heats up fast, with Clark, Boston, and potentially Mitchell all back. The excuses are gone, and here's something new. Clark's off-season program is getting an upgrade. She's training with motion sensor tech that tracks her release speed, rhythm, and balance, sharpening her already elite shooting. The Fever also plan to hire a full-time shooting coach, possibly from the men's college ranks, to work exclusively with Clark and the guards. Plus, a special minicamp is coming, focused purely on chemistry between Clark, Boston, and the wings, like Nalissa Smith, Sophie Cunningham, and whoever fills that SF spot. Amber Cox also revealed something massive. The Fever are watching the global game. They're scouting Olympic-level veterans overseas and paying attention to the WNBA's expanding footprint in China. Her quote: "We're watching what's happening globally. There's too much talent overseas to ignore." Translation: Indiana wants to be first in line for the next global wave of talent, and possibly be part of the WNBA's first international showcases. And the ownership? They're all in. Sold-out games, record TV ratings, merch flying off shelves. The Fever now have spending power, upgraded facilities, advanced recovery tech, charter flights, marketing push. They're not just building a team, they're building a brand empire. Cox even confirmed Caitlin Clark has a seat at the table. "We involve our leaders in everything. They've earned that." Translation: Clark's voice matters, and rightfully so. She didn't just lift Indiana, she revived the entire WNBA's audience. So here's the bottom line: the Fever's off-season blueprint is simple. Re-sign Kelsey Mitchell if possible. Add veteran defense and shooters. Expand globally. Keep Caitlin Clark healthy, fresh, and happy. If Indiana executes this plan, they won't just be playoff bound, they'll be building the next WNBA dynasty. So, Basley fam, what do you think? Should the Fever hand Kelsey Mitchell that Supermax deal, or use that money to stack more veterans around Clark and Boston? Drop your take below, smash that like button, and make sure you're subscribed for more WNBA breakdowns, because if Indiana nails this offseason,